Good morning, happy Friday. It is a little earlier today. However, I hope that if you're not watching live, you're catching the replay. Welcome to Friday. Couple of things. You guys know me well enough by now, I think, for those of you who have been following for a while, that I'm a huge believer in celebrating as much as humanly possible. Hey, Cal, because let's face it, there are lots of things that we screw up, that we stuff up, that we wish that we'd done better. So I think it's really important that we, hey Mary from Melbourne, yay, good morning. I haven't seen your name pop up before. Thanks for joining us. So really excited to celebrate with you today. So if we think about what's gone really well in your world, hey Kelly, what has gone really well in your world in this last week? I would love for you to share. We often get really caught up in this whole cycle of, well, I didn't make the sales that I wanted. I didn't get the content out that I wanted. I look at I'll show you, look at my to-do list and there's still some really big things in there that I didn't get done, and it can be really frustrating. So it's important that we flip that switch, because if we think about it, it is a really great form of self-flagellation. It actually propels and perpetuates self-doubt. So celebrate your heart out. So what I'm celebrating this week, I'm celebrating coming back after what was an amazing, gotta tell you, a freaking amazing week up on the Gold Coast with clients. And I think I shared with you earlier that it's really just a beautiful reminder for me that the choices and the decisions that get made, things always pan out for the best. And I could not have hoped for or wanted a better group of entrepreneurs and business owners and CEOs who are absolutely committed to changing the world, to changing their worlds, and therefore creating the ripple, being that ripple in their space. Now, we've had CEOs of multi-million-dollar organizations in the room last weekend, and we had brand new to business people in the room last weekend. And the thing that was the most important thing for them is that they could see how to use social media in a way that felt like them. You know, I don't want to pump out clones of me. I know you don't want to be like me. You don't want to have to turn up on a live and present in the same way that I do. I want to empower you, yes. And I'm going to throw in a couple of other industry buzzwords because, why the heck not? I want to empower you to do it from your authentic self. And unfortunately, there's all these people that have really unfortunately done a whole lot of injustice to those words, because that is actually really what I am passionate about doing. I want you to do things in your way, in your voice, following a framework and a system. So there was times over the weekend where I was like, oh man, are they getting it? Are they getting it? And then I had to come back and get out of my own head and be like, you know what? Your process works, Nick. So it was a really awesome reminder for me, twofold, and a really amazing celebration twofold. So number one, to rely and trust in my own stuff, trust in my process, and also let go of trying to control the outcome for the people that were there. All I can do is present and inspire and motivate and do the stuff. So it was a really awesome reminder for me. Hey, Tamara, good morning. A little earlier today. Hope you're not in the shower. So Tamara was there on the weekend, and she explained that sometimes she listens to these lives while cleaning her bathroom. So I thought that was a little funny. So that's been a really amazing celebration. I'm celebrating the heck out of the fact that my brain is back and working. Thank God. It's been really interesting to observe the way that, we can be on, and as humans, how we can be on, we can turn on, we can do what needs to be done when the time is there and the time is not right, but when it's necessary to be on. So I was in delivery mode and thinking about my people from essentially last Thursday morning. and did not stop until about Tuesday lunchtime after working with a photographer and videographer on Tuesday morning. So really, it's been really a really interesting phenomenon to observe, because by the time Tuesday came around, I had no more words. I was really looking forward to having some time on my own. Now, I am naturally an extrovert, but I really need time and space on my own to recalibrate and to think. So what was really freaking hilarious was I got home Wednesday, and the volume, the noise that was, in my house was really like, rah! And I found that I couldn't hear properly and my brain wasn't processing. It was absolutely fascinating. For someone who is typically, oh look, that little tripod's wiggling. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? Sorry about that. I'll try to move my desk less. I don't really know what's going on. I've got a different tripod today and it's doing some strange things. So I apologize that's kind of how my brain felt. Apologize for the wiggling. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, look, there we go. Okay, cool. How do you know we're live? So it's been a really interesting observation how my brain has, how it deals with fatigue. So come Wednesday, I was absolutely, shot. I was knackered. And yesterday, Thursday, it's like we're back on the horse, we're doing things, I was working, but I fucked up. I was really excited. I had a chat with a potential client yesterday afternoon, and that was an amazing conversation. He's just, really sounds really exciting to be able to work with. And I spent some time doing the proposal and I sent it through, and he sent me an email back saying, I think you sent me the wrong proposal. And I've just gone, oh shit. That is something I sent through a different proposal for someone else that I'd drafted earlier, that I'd written earlier on in the year. So I completely fucked up. And what was interesting for me to observe, and this is where the celebration is not in the fuck up, right? And I was absolutely mortified. It was a different price point, it was a higher price point that I've sent this other proposal through, and I sat there thinking, oh my God, what is he going to think? He's going to think I'm a flake. He's never going to work with me, rah, 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 all this self-talk. And I stayed in that loop for probably about 10 minutes. And then, so this happened at 7:30 last night. I actually had the email notification, and I don't normally read my emails, but I see the subject line, and then that, the hint of what's to come in the email comes up in your preview of your emails on your phone. And it said, I think you sent me through this person's proposal. And I just gone, oh shit. Ran to my office, sent it through, wallowed in self-pity and self-flagellation for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going, you know what, Nicola? It is what it is. The ship has sailed. There's nothing we can do about it. So how are you going to, make sure that you don't do this again? So it was really kind of interesting to observe my reaction and to kind of work out, well, what happened was I was tired last night, and I wanted to get that proposal through to him, and I didn't slow my brain down enough to make sure that the correct information was going to the correct person. I was like, oh, this is so unprofessional and things like that. So instead, by being an observer and just being aware, there was no other personal information in there other than this guy's name, right? So I was okay with that in terms of Privacy Act and, sharing information, and there was no confidential information in there. But really, at the end of the day, what I caught myself up on was something that I heard another friend of mine share, I think it was the start of last week or perhaps the end of the week before. We all get caught up in what other people think about us, right? It's really easy to worry about what someone else is thinking, what's going on in their head, are they getting it, are they not, rah, rah, rah. And what we're actually doing, and here's the thing that was posed to me, we're not worried about what other people think about us. We're actually worried about what we're thinking about what other people think about us. Right? It's not our business what anybody else thinks. At the end of the day, they're going to form whatever opinion they form. We can try and influence that positively, but we can't control it. So I was like, wow, I'm not actually, he's going to think what he's going to think. I'm more worried about what his reaction is. And I've got no clue what his reaction is. I've got no clue what he's going to be doing or not doing. So, you know what? How about I just be okay with the fact that I'm human, that I fucked up, own it, and just commit to myself to taking a little bit more time to make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed before flicking something out really fast. So that's our little live for today. I trust that is helpful. Tamara, I'm really excited to hear that you are doing the outline. I can't open up that comment, which is really strange, so I'll do that when we're off. I'm really thrilled that you're getting your outline for your live done, because the world needs to hear you, baby. You're a freaking rock star. Kelly, get yourself out there. Can't wait to see your live go out at about 9:30, which I think is going to be 10:30 here. I'll be coaching, so I'll miss it, but have fun and get out there and do that. Geordie, you're very welcome. Thank you, Sandra. So great to host you all. Have a beautiful day. Have a great weekend. Get out there and kick some freaking ass.